Hi, my name is Daniel, and this is a presentation that's going to talk about quantitative and qualitative research. So in this PowerPoint, it's always gonna include definition of qualitative and quantitative research. So what they are, it's gonna talk about the differences between both of them, and I'm also gonna go over the strengths and weaknesses of both quantitative and qualitative research. Okay. So what is quantitative research? Well, quantitative research is a more statistical type of research wherein whereas quantitative research delivers factual, reliable outcome data, and it's usually used to go over like larger populations and more like statistical logical data, so it can always go over trends. It can make perceptions of stuff that's going to happen. So, for example, let's say they talk about Premier League goals, for example. That's quantitative because you know how many goals someone has. It's numerical. You know the data. For example, Haaland has 30 goals. That's numerical. That's quantitative research. While qualitative is not numerical data and it goes over like opinions, perception of how you feel something is, behavior, language. So, um, it's not like you can make a great judgment of it because it's not accurate. It can be your opinion. Um, so I'm gonna go over the differences of them for a bit. Differences will be quantitative data is more concrete and precise because you know what the data is. It's there. It's numerical. It's not gonna change. While qualitative is more interpretive and descriptive, so it can change. It doesn't have to. I mean, you can have different people have their different opinions. They can interpret it differently. Also, quantitative data uses mainly to study trends and patterns in like a big group, rather than qualitative is used to study like individual cases. Next slide. So the strengths and weaknesses of quantitative research. Okay, so strengths I'd say are there's a larger sample size in terms of quantitative research, so the conclusion is going to be better because it's going to be more generalized, more it'll be more accurate because you have a larger sample size, so it'll be easier to make that conclusion. You can also have the data be accurately like given because and you can do it in multiple data sets because you know the data is going to be there, it's going to be factual, it's numerical, it's not going to change. So the data is going to be accurate and you can be make the data more the data can be like made at a faster pace, which gives which is much more better. However, weaknesses will be like, so since it's quantitative and it's more like statistical, um, it fails to answer more on like why and how. So it's not gonna answer you like, opinions and stuff. Like you won't know. It's only gonna answer you, this is the data I have. It's concrete and precise. It's not gonna give you opinions or anything. Yeah. So and also you have to be monitoring that data on a constant basis because it has to always go back to the original hypothesis. Whatever the hypothesis is, it always has to relate back to that. So you always have to keep monitoring the data from time to time. Moving on to qualitative research. Well, the strengths of qualitative research is that it is based on human experience and observation. So the benefit of that is, humans can make their own judgment. It's not that because people obviously think differently. So you can make your own judgment based on it. However, and also it can be more fluid. However, being more opinionated and subjective is actually kind of bad for qualitative research because the data would then be more like harder to assess, meaning that when it's more harder to assess, then you don't know like, what's the correct answer, what's the correct opinion. You might feel like, it's not accurate enough. So that's another like weakness of it. Yeah, that's just the presentation on what qualitative and quantitative research can give you.